Modern Horizons 3 is here, and we are starting out with a bang. A mono brown Eldrazi combo shops deck featuring 3 new cards from Modern Horizons, including everyone's much awaited Vexing Bauble. Welcome, vintage gamers, to Modern Horizons 3, and we're going to start off with a bang here with 3 different Modern Horizons cards in this very new Combo Shops deck, straight out of the Team Series Invitational at the Land. This is a deck that many players played variants of at the Land, and it is a sweet one. The main card in this deck is probably Vexing Bauble, but the other main card is Glaring Fleshraker. This is a card that I actually don't even have in my Modern Horizons 3 video, and the reason was because I overlooked something. Someone had posted on Reddit a little while back saying, could this card be played as a win con in Jewel? And I said, no, Jewel doesn't really want, like extra moving parts. It really has tight slots. It's really good because you don't have to play win cons. However, what I did not notice was that this card had its own deck waiting to be made, and that is because of Sensei's Divining Top being legal in the format. So, for those of you who don't know, Glaring Fleshraker is a colorless 2/2 Eldrazi for 3. Whenever you cast a colorless spell, you get a 0/1 Eldrazi spawn token that has sack, make a generic, is it called a colorless? So 2 generic, 1 colorless, I should say, is the casting cost. But it also has whenever another colorless creature enters the battlefield under your control, deal 1 to each opponent. So obviously the colorless Eldrazi spawns deal damage, and the Lurrus Saga constructs deal damage. What I did not realize at the time is that if you have 2 Sensei's Tops, you have 2 Sensei's Divining Tops, and you draw a card and put the card on top, and then draw a card and put the card on top, you are effectively looping a Sensei's Top every turn. And every time you cast a Sensei's Top, you get a colorless Eldrazi spawn that you can then sack to cast the next Sensei's Top. So while this doesn't do anything, it does, because you have the second ability of Fleshraker, which is whenever a Eldrazi spawn enters, deal the 1 damage. So with simply just a Fleshraker and 2 Sensei's Tops, you can kill your opponent with infinite damage. This is very similar to a combo we have played on the channel before, which was Patchwork Automaton, 2 Sensei's Tops, and a Foundry Inspector. Similar idea there, but this one is just way better. It's all in 1 card with, I guess it's a 3-card combo, but it's all into this 1 Fleshraker here. And it is just doesn't even have to attack, it just has to deal damage. There's an alternative way of doing this with a Mystic Forge, a Glaring Fleshraker, and a Sensei's Top. And so that's kind of what we're doing. It's the main plan here inside of a classic Smelting Vat shell. Now, having 2 Sensei's Tops is actually not always going to be easy. Obviously, it is a card that you can find off of Lurrus Saga, but having 2 of your 4 card is not always easy. So, Smelting Vat help us find not only Sensei's Top, but also Time Vault Key, where we have a bunch of keys to go with our Vats and our One Rings and our Grim Monolith. This is very similar to the Smelting Vat decks I have played in the past. It doesn't have a Force of Will in it, but it does have the new card that everyone is talking about, Vexing Bauble. Now, Vexing Bauble would prevent us from casting Force of Will, but we can't even get Force of Will in this deck. What we're going to do is try to play Vexing Bauble on the play and turn off our opponent's Force of Wills and their Moxen. Vexing Bauble has had some here and there testing so far from what I have been told. At TSI, Vexing Bauble in this deck did look a lot better than Vexing Bauble in my deck. So I want to continue to keep an open mind and see how Vexing Bauble plays throughout the day. We are going to play a 3rd card here, the Talon Gates of Madra. Anyways, it is a land that phases a creature out, and you can actually put it back into your hand and replay it to phase a creature out again. And also, it filters mana into colors. Not super relevant here, but big thing here is probably phasing out an oof to turn all your artifacts back on. 1 card that this deck is super bad against is Null Rod. It can, of course, beat a Null Rod. There are definitely ways to beat a Null Rod. They usually involve Tolarian Academy, Fleshraker. I guess I should mention that Fleshraker is not bad on its own. without Sensei's Top. Simply getting extra mana for all your color spells lends you to a very KCI Smelting Vat style deck. So you do get some value off of these 0/1 colorless. Besides that, and also like I said, if a collector is in play, you can still turn your things into mana. So you got some nice parts going on there. The big question is, does Vexing Bauble solve the inherent problem of the Smelting Vat deck? And the answer, I think, is no. So the Smelting Vat deck, its biggest problem is it doesn't play Force of Will, so it can die very easily to the opponent. Now, Vexing Bauble might solve some of those problems if you have it in your hand on turn 1 on the play. So that's what we're going to keep an eye out for in this league. This is a deck that top 8'd the TSI. I have not made any changes to it. I'm just going to run it as is. I do think there's plenty of room to fiddle around with numbers and make things stronger here. I also think there's another way of attacking this this angle and going more for an aggro-oriented slant with Patchwork Automatons and Foundry Inspectors, so you can maybe play an even more aggressive version of this deck. That being said, like I said before, the biggest problem with this deck is going to be fast combo decks when we are on the draw, and also just the fact that our deck doesn't have Force Will, and the cards Null Rod and Collect Roof. So we will see how this goes in our very first Modern Horizons 3 Vintage League. Have you ever wanted to win your own real Black Lotus? The legendary NYSE Vintage Tournament returns this June 22nd on Long Island in New York. 15 proxy, high stakes, paper vintage action with 8 whole pieces of unlimited power as prizes. You are not going to want to miss it. Check out more information in the description below. I hope to see you there. Let's battle. All right, welcome to round 1. We're get to play this league and the other league tonight, courtesy of Daybreak Games and their Magic Online Creator program, where I don't have to go out and buy all the new cards right away. I have this nice account that will let us play with the cards. So, exciting times ahead. My opponent did not reveal a Lurrus, and I don't have a counter spell. However, I do have a lot of mana, a Time Vault, and a Smelting Vat. So, I'm going to keep this hand, even though I am at risk. Definitely one of the main ways this deck wins is a traditional Vat kill of Time Vault Key. Ooh, Bazaar of Baghdad, huh? Bazaar of Baghdad. So doing things like playing a Smelting Vat and sacrificing the Grim Monolith to go 7 deep, looking for one of my 5 keys for my Time Vault is pretty good. So opponent has an Icarid, a Bridge, and a Cabal Therapy in the yard. They are going to cast Hollow One. Will they use Cabal Therapy off their Hollow One, not knowing what I'm playing? Doesn't seem like that's the case, but no Dredgers in their yard, so that's a good start. We will have to take a peek here at what we want to do sequencing-wise. I assume we're going Workshop, Monolith. I'd like to get the Flesh Raker down as soon as possible to start netting mana back. So if we were to go Workshop, Monolith, Flesh Raker, Mana Vault up to 4 mana, Grim Monolith up to down to 3, up to 6, or sorry, down to 2, but then back 1. I feel like we can just play the whole everything, right? So Flesh Raker, I have 1 leftover mana. Monolith, I then have 4 mana. Pay 2 to play a Grim Monolith. Down to 2, up to 6. Smelting Vat, activate, key. I mean, this seems, yeah. I think that's just the best way to go about this. Does it matter if I played Mana Vault or Monolith first? Probably not. All right. I think it just makes sense to play Flesh Raker first. From there, we'll have to see. If this gets forced, this one can't get negated for what it's worth, which is nice. Actually, that's actually a pretty reasonable upside, actually. Cannot be negated. So if I resolve this and I have 4 mana, okay, they're just going to counter it. Okay, well, that simplifies things greatly. We're just going to play a Mana Vault and pass. Hopefully our opponent does not have a Force of Vigor hitting both of our mana sources here. Or a Mental Misstep for what it's worth. Thankfully, our opponent is not on Future Sight, Narcomoebas. We have to go through that again, though we do have the solution to the Future Sight problem now. No creatures to bring back with Icarid. No activation on upkeep, it looks like. Correct. I could not use my workshop mana for Fleshbreaker, which is a legitimate problem. It has come up multiple times in the test league I played. Looks like opponent is taking a natural draw and then activating Bazaar. That kind of signifies to me they might have another force in their hand. Because they're going to go up to 5 down to 2. Could leave themselves with a force or a grief or something similar. Would not really want to see a grief here. Okay, they did hit a Stinkweed Imp, and they also hit another therapy. So now they can, and they hit a grief. Okay, so we are going to lose our entire hand. Seems good. So my opponent had force, grief, double therapy, hollow one. Not bad. We are in trouble is the correct analysis of what is happening here. That's for sure. Yeah. A ball would have helped, for sure. Winning the die roll would have helped. Having Forceful in our deck would have helped. Having Wasteland in our deck would have helped. There's a lot of cards in Magic. Having Needle would have helped, you know? Unlucky, really. Time Vault was taken? Where's the respect? Put some respect. This is a smelting vat. Smelting vat notably not actually that good if our Time Vault is on our yard. I still think if I were them, I would just therapy both my cards away. Maybe only the vat away. You could change the hollow one into a zombie, take away the vat. Yeah. That makes sense to me. The good news is they don't have the fastest. Why are they I guess it's the same, right? You're just -2 power. And you could have better bridges later. You might want to take away this monolith too, though, because it's an extra life every turn off Inventor's Fair. Also represents me being able to activate Inventor's Fair, which is important. Okay, yeah. Sweet. Okay, so they're going to be left with a 2/2, but they also have a Stinkweed Imp that they hit off of their last draw step, so. And then next turn, they get to bring back Icarid and Prize Amalgam. So yeah, we're just, we're in trouble, but we have good draws. We have 4 One Rings to draw to. Those are definitely our best draws now. Mystic Forge is another one. This is Mystic Forge is a restricted card, and I'm so happy this card is restricted because if this card wasn't restricted right now, it'd be a scary place. Mystic Forge is definitely one of the cards that can get us back in this game. Let's see how good the top of our library is. Mox Opal. Key. Man, Mystic Forge is so strong. Tolarian. I do think we need to go past this Tolarian. I think we need to play as many spells as we can get. So let's activate Forge. Key. Pearl. Tomb. All right, let's untap Forge and activate Forge. Vexing Bauble. Doesn't help us against our opponent anymore, but I can always crack it to keep going through. So we should play our Vexing Bauble out, and then we'll just crack it right away. Okay, and we've bricked off for now. We're gonna take 1 from our Mana Vault. We'll gain 1 from our Inventor's Fair, and then we're gonna take 3, 5 plus Creeping Chills. We can still very easily win the game on the next turn, so see what happens. Mystic Forge is a wild magic card. That's one creeping chill. The good news is we have Inventor's Fair as well. If we want, we can always Inventor's Fair for a 1 ring to buy us some time. Though, depending on our life total, it might not actually work. They could, like, do a bunch of dredging on our turn and chill. Wait, does chill target, actually? Or does chill just each opponent? Deal 3 damage to each opponent. Deals damage, though, so our protection would work, right? But they could do it on our next turn. We're at 6, huh? All right. I have high hopes that we'll win from this turn. Opponent is out of interaction. Smelting Vat. Definitely. It's a little awkward because Smelting Vat doesn't find us anything good right now. Because the Time Vault is in the yard, and we can't hit a Flesh Raker off Smelting Vat, I actually don't even think Smelting Vat is good. Smelting Vat doesn't look good here. Because we can't go for Vault Key. Is it worth just going past Smelting Vat? I mean, Smelting Vat can turn us into more mana and can find us our 2 tops later, so probably not. It's probably still correct to play Smelting Vat. Can find us more keys. All right, it's a good thing our Bobble isn't in play. Get these Moxen going. Let's start with a Mystic Forge activation rather than a Smelting Vat. No, I think I'd rather Smelting Vat a Monolith away here. So that found us 1 top and 1 Mana Crypt and 1 Bauble. 2 Flesh Rakers went to the bottom, though, which is a huge problem. I can always Vat the Mana Crypt later. Or is it better to just put the Bauble? I mean, I feel like I need mana more than anything here. Let's try taking the Mana Crypt. Yikes. That is not great either. Normally, Mightstone Weakstone is really nice. It pays mostly for itself, and you can find new rings and vats with it. But we're just pretty light on life and mana here. We can just do another Smelting Vat activation. We do know that 2 Flesh Rakers are in our bottom cards, right? So we are incentivized to use some of our keys to make more Vat activations. But I need to find a second top, though we can always draw with top and play top for 1 mana as well. So let's start with a Mystic Forge activation and just lose a life. It's a Vexing Bauble. It costs less for us to draw through that with top. Oh, you're right. I don't need a second Forge. I just need to find a Flesh Raker. So in that case, I should just use my Smelting Vat once to clear some cards. Let's just start with getting rid of a Mana Vault. All right, that hit no Flesh Rakers, so that's good. We're gonna go get a Soul Ring and a Sapphire because we still have another Mana Key activation and we have tops, so we have lots to go for here. I'm gonna do one more Vat activation. I'm just gonna get rid of this Mana Crypt before it becomes a problem. Okay, 1 Flesh Raker. All right, so now I need to just... I could spin. Or I could just draw through, which is better. I can use my Ancient Tomb still. Needle. It's too late for Needle. So I still... I'm going to need 4 mana though, right? So I can do... This is the time where I would spin. Maybe I played this badly. Should I not have used so many Vat activations? But I knew the order of most of my deck, right? There should be Flesh Rakers coming soon. Right? I did not find one, but I did find a one ring. Is that good enough? I go to 3, but I don't have a mana crypt anymore, but I can get upkeep creeping chilled. I don't think I have a choice though. I would be willing to bet I played this turn poorly. There's one at the bottom, and I think there's 2 within the top 10 cards or so. We put 2 on the bottom to start. If you look back on the log here, there were 2 here, and then we went 7 cards deep, 7 cards deep. So we placed 14 cards below them. Maybe I needed to activate one more time then. Either way, I'm gonna play this one ring out. I do think I played badly though, because I had placed Flesh Raker, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and then I'd put 14 cards on the bottom, so maybe I should have been spinning for this one. The I don't know. It's been a while since I've done any kind of math like this. The thing I need to worry about the most is my opponent hits one of their 2 remaining creeping chills. That's what I have to worry about the most here. And they can do it in response to my Inventor's Fair trigger. I don't really have any way to stop that from happening. I guess I should have played this Needle out, but I didn't have any mana for that, right? Or did I have mana for the Needle? I would venture to say I probably threw this turn. But it's not like super apparent to me with all the things on the board right now how exactly I did that. But I feel like I could have done it better. Well, I knew what was on top because I spun. So my opponent's going for the kill here. Can't. Yeah, they hit the kill. I mean, I don't think I could have done anything differently here after what I've chosen to do. But I mean, my opponent hitting the other chill here is very unlucky for me. They had a lot of cards left. Okay. I think I had a win there and I probably lost it, but the game was extremely hard because there was no time vault. So I had to try to like filter my deck in a way that found me a Flesh Raker. And I'm not convinced I did the best maximization of that. Yeah, so I think that's a little annoying like that. It's also possible, like I needed to play a ring to survive a turn, but I could have theoretically found a way to play the ring and a needle. Well, I mean, I hit restricted Mystic Forge off the top, and that was like one of the very few cards that were gonna get me there, right? Okay, so I'm gonna do. Well, the thing is, I knew the cards that were underneath, right? So like, the ring was my last 4 mana, so drawing with the ring doesn't do anything besides lose me a life and take away the out of my opponent missing the Inventor's Fair trigger. Okay, I'm going to bring in these cards that are historically good against Dredge, and I'm going to take out these cards that are historically bad against Dredge. Vexing Bauble seems reasonable here. Karn, I feel like I can get away with no Karn. And then I would trim, I don't know. I would trim 2 magic cards. I will trim 1 key. And I will trim 1 opal. Sold. The thing I'm like most concerned about with how I played out that combo turn is like when I chose to go for Smelting Vat activations and when I chose to go for Mystic Forge activations and when I chose not to spin my top, right? Those are the things that I'm like the most concerned with how I played that out. Yeah. I also thought I had a lot more mana than I did. I felt like I had a lot more mana than I did. Something to keep an eye on as well. But yeah, that's okay. We almost stole game one against Dredge. Not a big deal. This hand is very bad. It doesn't have anything that stops Dredge in any capacity. Could we have waited a turn to draw Academy? Yes, but I think we're limiting ourselves too much. We obviously had the turn to draw with Academy, but I don't know if that is the best play. Okay, so this hand I think is a keep. I'm gonna put one Flesh Raker on the bottom and go Ruby Bauble and then have a protected Lantern. So that's pretty strong. All right, so my opponent is not casting any spells this game, so all we need to do is beat Bazaar. However, all we have is one Lantern, so we are not currently beating Bazaar just because we resolved a Bauble. We'll have to see how this game plays out. We do need to draw some help, I would imagine. But the good news is they can't grief us. They can't play a hollow one. They can't force us. They can't vigor us. They can't do anything but activate Bazaar and Dredge and return things. However, that is what their deck is designed to do. We have some stalling here with Lantern, but... well, I have not trophied on it, so must be less whitelisted than my other account. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, this is probably one of the more skill-intensive interactions in Bazaar matchups is Lantern and when to like push. It looks like they're full pushing. They have Thug, Imp, and Troll in their yard. That's a very aggressive discard against a Lantern. We'll have to see. For me, I'm gonna wait until there's like a very strong hit off of the triggers on the stack. So and until then, I need to accelerate my board plan, and I don't currently have a land drop. So I'm going to play another Bauble and cycle it. Another nice part of Bauble. It's not dead, but it is taking my entire turn's worth of mana here. I hit a Mana Crypt, which unfortunately I can't cast because of my Bauble, and so I can't accelerate my game plan. Okay. Maybe we can get rid of this Bauble later in the game after our opponent does more dredging and their hand gets more depleted. Have to see. Opponent did not hit any triggers off this and milled over 2 Vigors, 2 Therapies, 2 Icarids. Okay. So I'm hoping that they dredge again here. I put a lot of things in their yard and dredge again here and hit something good because I'm 100% have to hit these Icarids. So I hope they dredge off the Imp, leave the Grave Troll maybe, and I can hit them with a Lantern. No, they dredged the Grave Troll. So they're going to get to save Grave Troll here. We have no choice anymore because we definitely can't allow our opponent to bring back Icarids, right? There's no way that's good for us. Maybe we can. It's just 6 damage. Yeah, I guess I mean, there's no reason not to wait until our opponent, I mean, they could like put some, so like if we wait till their upkeep and they pass priority to us to go for Icarids and we hit them with a Lantern, they could, I don't know, dredge the Stinkweed Imps and go for some Narc Amoebas. Do we care about that? Probably not. At the very least, there's no reason to hit now, so. So our Vexing Bauble is stopping us from playing any of our mana sources. Very nice. I don't think we're freeing them here, though, so. We're only going to free them if we're going to lose. This Void Mirror is doing its work here. Oh, sorry, did I say Void Mirror? I meant to say Vexing Bauble. Okay, so let's pass the turn to them. Let's see if they pass priority to us. Okay, so they have passed priority to us on these Icarids. I'm going to sacrifice this Lantern. I doubt my opponent will activate in response. They'll probably just let the graveyard go, activate their Bazaar, put their Grave Troll in the yard, and then dredge their Grave Troll for turn. If my opponent hadn't been to any Icarids, or maybe, yeah, I would say if they had been 0 Icarids, then I can wait for another trigger to happen. But with them having Icarids and then putting the onus on me, I think it's my time to hit there. I kind of miss those, like, Tormod's Crypt Lantern games. So they pitched 2 Creeping Chills. That's good to know. And then they just put the Grave Troll in the yard. All right, dredge the Grave Troll. So they have 6 cards in hand. One of them is Grave Troll. They hit Thug, Imp, Grief, and a Bridge from Below. All right. I could use lands. Not Moxen. That's a Smelting Vat. Do we have to break our bauble here? Are we that bad? I mean, breaking our bauble doesn't really even save us. Doesn't really even get us anywhere good. Like, we're not even doing anything great after that. Like, we're playing a Mana Crypt and a Flesh Raker, and then we're playing a Pearl, getting 2 mana and stopping. Like, that's not very good. We will have drawn a card. I mean, I think I'm going to wait one more turn here. Maybe we can use our end step mana. So far, a bauble has stopped our opponent from casting spells, but it has also stopped us from doing anything of value. Opponent has lost 3 Vigors, though. That is definitely something to keep in mind. 3 Force of Vigors are gone, so there's only 1 possible Vigor left in their deck. They only have 16 cards left in their deck. This is simply 2 Narcomoebas, but nothing else. There are no therapies in the yard to make Bridge from Below tokens with. So currently, it's just 2 Narcomoebas. Dredge 6. This is a 3rd Narcomoeba, and that will bring back a prized Amalgam. 10 cards left in my opponent's deck. I should count some forces, probably. 2 Force of Wills. 3 Force of Wills. Do we want to sack the bauble now? It's not like we're like depleting our opponent's hand at all here. I don't think we need to sack this bauble yet. No, I'm gonna go one more turn. We're at 20 life. Oh, God. God bless. All right, I'm still gonna wait one more draw. Shouldn't wait a draw, right? All right, I'm cracking. Sensei's Tom. All right, we're almost at the combo here, but our opponent are any of our spells resolving? That's a question. If all of our spells are resolving, I think we have a high likelihood of winning. But if this guy does not resolve, I can't imagine we win. Nope, it got forced. Yeah. All right. Well, the good news is I guess I do have backup plans here. Definitely not playing around Mindbreak Trap. Let's get a Vat in play. Try to set up a Time Vault Key, maybe. So while our opponent did not get to counter our first spells of the game, unfortunately, we were not able to produce a win before we had to crack our bauble and get our main spell countered. Opponent only has 6 cards in hand, though. 6 cards in graveyard, though. So they have to be a little careful. They had a grief in hand as well that our bauble was protecting us from. Now they're going to take a something. It's going to give them a bajillion bridge from below tokens. We're only taking 6 here. It's time. Welcome, welcome. So I can't really say that bauble was good here. But we did, I mean, we drew mana, we just couldn't cast it because of our bauble, right? It took the Sensei's Top, which I think is correct. Annoying part of Smelting Vat with the One Ring is we're not casting the One Ring, so we don't get the protection clause. So we're going to take 6. Opponent has 6 cards in library. 1 Amalgam is coming back, maybe? Actually, nothing entered, right? So the Amalgam's not even coming back. We will die on the next swing here without a One Ring, though. Lost the flip. Drew a Time Vault, but they countered. They countered our. They griefed our Sensei's Top, so we can't get a key. Oh, it's 8 cards. Sorry, I've been saying 7, haven't I? All right, so I need to play a Smelting Vat, sack a Smelting Vat, getting a key and a Mana Vault. It has to, or a Grim Monolith and a key. So there are definitely outs here. So Vat, sack, Vat. We have 5 keys in our deck, 4 monoliths. We hit the Grim Monolith, but we did not hit a key. We hit a Needle, but Needle is dead, and we hit a Vexing Bauble. So we can get 3 mana and a Bauble and sack, drawing for what? Nothing. There are no draws that win. And then we die. 6, 9, 12. I mean, we'll make the play, but it just doesn't get us there. Unlucky. All right, well, I would chalk that one up as 1 loss for the bauble. GG's to the opponent here. 6, 9, 12. They didn't activate last turn. We'll die. Not great. All right, round 2 on the play. That's good. Vexing Bauble. Okay. Now, the problem here is, like, do you keep this hand? I mean, I have a Vexing Bauble, but I don't actually have a great follow-up. All I have is an Lurrus Saga. I assume you're still probably keeping it. Then there's the question of how are we sequencing this? I would assume Workshop, Monolith, Fleshraker, Soul Ring. Oh, was this one of the Dredge players? No, this was a Workshop player. Vexing Bauble against Workshop would be good on the play, and then we can actually get rid of it later when it's bad. But you don't know that, but they're playing that for sure. So let's just sequence in the way that makes the most sense. Let's get our Gray Ogre deployed here. Let's see. Our best draws are our 4-drops. We have some good lands in hand. Okay, so it is Workshop. It's a bit unfortunate. I think Vexing Bauble is not super strong here. if our opponent plays a bunch of 0 drops into the bauble to grow the automaton, we can crack this earlier. Main deck Cage. Okay. I don't hate it. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of decks. I feel like there are a lot of decks where bauble is actively hampering you. This is probably a matchup where I'll board it out. I don't even know if I'll keep it in on the play. We did draw one of our tops, so we are 1 top away from winning. So that's good. I do think this card is like surprisingly strong. I definitely underestimated how good this one is. And also these things chump the Patchwork for a long time as well. They do not have baubles in their deck. I've seen their deck list, so. Nor do I think baubles are good in their deck, so. The bauble is like not so strong that you just throw it in every deck. I don't know why people got that idea. All right, well, we found our 2 tops and we win the game immediately, so. Yep. I am going to demonstrate the loop. This is legitimately pretty sweet, though. Yeah, I mean it is. It's just pretty sweet. This is one of the main reasons I wanted to play this deck first. I think this card is really cool with Sensei Stomp. Okay, so we were able to sneak a little bit of a anemic hand game 1 against a deck where bauble wasn't good, especially on the draw. I want to be taking out 4 baubles here. I would be interested in Blast Zone. I would be interested in additional needles on Wasteland. I'd be interested in Crucible of Worlds. I would be interested in all of the Argentum Masticores. Do I want additional Might Stone, Weak Stones is an interesting question as well. Yeah, well, I mean, that is like part of what I said in my 35-minute video was it's going to be hard to evaluate when bauble is good unless you are testing with a partner, as you will not know the contents of your opponent's hand, right? Definitely something I talked about. I would say Might Stone, Weak Stone seems less good than these other cards. And then I have a feeling we should probably take... I mean, might just take out some Might Stone, Weak Stones. Like, what am I killing? I'm killing Goloses and maybe Patchworks and Revokers. I want to take out some things that have activated abilities. So... Well, yeah, I mean, flares are terrible. Yeah, maybe my stones are better than Vats. Like, I just like feel like I'm going to get null rotted, right? So I want to trim on my things that get hurt by null rod. But I don't want to trim on my combo pieces, so let's just play like this. This seems close enough. Oh, I'm sure we'll play a league with the flares, but I mean, in my video, I talked about how I think the flare cycle is horrendous compared to every other Modern Horizons cycle. So this is the kind of hand you keep against shops because it has your good cards, but then you lose because your opponent like taxes you too much. Well, but we're gonna keep it anyways. Like Workshop, Mox, 4 drops. It's very strong. Okay. I'm surprised they left Intrinosphere. Gonna just play out our Moxen. If we get Wastelanded here, we'll probably just lose the game on the spot. Yep. That's the power of workshops. Null Rod as well. Oh, Patchwork. Well, I mean, I said exactly what I mean. I said everything already. This is the hand that you have to keep because of its power level, and then there will be some games where you get taxed and die. Like, if this hand's not in your range, I think you're mulliganing too many hands away. Like, if you say your opponent has no rods and you mulligan all your Moxen mana hands away, like, you're just giving up wins that you could have. That's a compy pasta for sure. Oh, they have Masticore as well. Interesting. What? How? The man is out there winning. Wassup. How do you? What do you? How do you even say it? Shortened World Series of Poker. Events. Anyways, I don't think I'm bringing Bobble back in on the play. I feel like it's not worth it. I don't see the. I think the upside here is not high enough compared to the other cards in the deck. I'm not gonna not bring this Bobble back in on the play. I feel like it's worth the conversation about, like, should you be bringing it back in on the play, but I don't like it. I think it will it will be a lot like Chalice and Trinisphere, where you don't really want it in on the draw versus a lot of matchups. This hand does not have fast mana of any kind, so let's mulligan this. This hand has fast mana, but shit fast mana. Man, these hands are just classic mono brown combo shops, huh? For what it's worth, our deck does have a lot less mana than some other workshop decks. It's kind of staple of the archetype. Kind of relies on Grim Monoliths and keys and stuff. I'm gonna put this one back too. I need to get out to a start with our being on the play. This is very good. This is very, very good. Okay, keep this. I can put back. Where are the blue cards? This is not a blue deck. There are no blue cards in it. Put back Opal Monolith. Maybe what about put back like Monolith and just play Ring because they can't counter it? I feel like I like that even better. I mean, there are still problems with this line. If we like immediately get null rotted and don't draw additional land-based mana, but I feel like setting up turn one. Oh, are we really gonna have a wasteland turn one? And we're not gonna use it? Okay, I can't say that I understand that line in any capacity, so that one doesn't make sense to me. I'm going to draw more cards. I have no idea what my opponent kept. I did not hit a land, but I did hit another key, which is another nice part about this deck is you do have lots of keys to go with your vats and rings. Can't play this Fleshraker, don't have the mana for it. Can draw an additional 4 more cards though. Ah, we got Mindbreak trapped. I see. I did play around that in the way I sequenced and kept in game 1. So that vibes. I mean, they're going to wasteland me now, right? Like, I just showed them I didn't hit a mana and the 5 million cards we drew. Yo, what up, Kiki Jiki? Thanks for the 2 years. Appreciate that. Glad you've been around. Black Lotus. Seems like a good draw off the top. Now they could go like Wasteland Null Rod. I would probably lose the game. This does feel slightly unlucky here, but what's I gotta do? Yep. All right. I don't believe the good news is they didn't have a land drop, so that's why I guess they kept it on the back of Mindbreak Trap. We do need to immediately draw a land that produces 2 or 3 mana to play a Masticore. If that happens, I would say we win the game. If that does not happen, we're going to lose this game. It did not happen. Seems bad. So they had a Mindbreak Trap. They were trying to draw 2, an extra mana source to play turn 1 Null Rod. Fair. I can't believe we drew how many cards and hit no mana sources? I mean, not no mana sources, but no lands. So we're going to lose 3 life every turn, plus 3 life every turn, and we need to hit... I mean, if we hit Tolarian Academy, we still win, right? Ancient Tomb was 1 turn too late. That's crazy. Looks like we're screwed here, though. Don't see any way forward. Still need to draw Tolarian Academy. Even then, we're going to go to 1. It's just Tolarian Academy still. And even then, I think we're going to have to block, so... All right. We've been defeated. I don't know. This is the kind of deck that loses the Null Rod. It is what it is. All right, here we go. Round 3. We got a Lurrus opponent. My hand is got a win, turn 1 win. So let's keep it. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. If we draw a Bobble, we can protect our turn 1 win too. Knowing our opponent, I'm expecting turn 1 Lavinia. Or turn 1 Oof. But you never know. Spicy Modern Horizons 3 do have. Well, the jig is up here. They looked at my hand for free. Yeah, I mean, I think taking Discover End's list is fine. I don't have a problem with it. Spicy Modern Horizons 3 Doomsday deck? I don't really feel like there is. Not that that deck needs any buffs after we unrestricted ponder for them for fun. Black Lotus. Uh-oh. Is it Orcish Bowmaster? Orcish Bowmaster stops my combo, right? What are we going to do about that? We're going to get Orcish Bowmastered here. I guess I should have done this in a different order. I could have, Oh, that's fine. I feel like that's totally fine. This is going to be a hard cast negation. I see. I hate this play from my opponent. I would never, ever make that play here. What if I just draw a land per turn? I don't like this play at all. I don't know what their last card is, so maybe I'm missing something, but man, I don't like that play. Like, I'm gonna have mana eventually here, right? No. Isn't it better to just like force the Fleshraker and hold up negation? Or oh, that's true. That's true. They saw Bobble. They saw our top card. That is true. Valid. Very valid. Oh, we don't have any mana. Okay, my bad. My bad. My bad. Well, my bad. We do have top again though. Yeah, but like Lurrus Saga doesn't even make up like 12% of the metagame or whatever. Shouldn't we just put the vamp back in the main? Ah, they have a Bowmaster. Don't really feel like we're beating. I mean, we have a Might Stone, Weak Stone, so I guess we will eventually beat Bowmaster here. But our mana situation is so sus. But I guess once we get 2 Fleshrakers in play, that'll fix our mana situation, right? So maybe it's fine. I still think we're favored in this game because of the way my opponent played this out. I mean, they draw another. They drew a Spell Pierce. Ah, now I understand. Now I understand what happened here. Okay, their line makes a lot more sense to me now that I have seen. They have a Spell Pierce, so they had 4 counter magic. Okay, I definitely hate it less. I definitely hate it less. They have another Bowmaster off the top. That's so bad for me. That's crazy bad for me. Okay. Damn. All right. We know we're drawing some like a time vault here. Maybe we just try to sneak a vault key in this game then. We draw and cast time vault and then we just try to sneak a vault key in before we die. I feel like that's the only way to win from here. We know our next card down is a Smelting Vat. They put Lurrus in the hand off this, and then they loop a Bauble next turn. So we have... I think this means it's an upkeep spin. We know there's a Vat. 2 Vats and a Bauble. Oh, it's how bad that is. I guess this technically stops the Bauble loop, but the Bauble loop does not matter here. So what do we need to do? We just need to spin again and hope our next card down is one of our 5 keys. Because if we spin on our upkeep, then we just can't get the mana. Well, play Bauble and cycle, I think that's too late. We have to win on our next turn. So it's better to just spin and hope our 4th card down is a key. Also, cycling into 2 Bowmastered would be bad. It was a Sapphire. So let's see. If we take a Sapphire, that gives us additional mana. We're at 5 life. So we could still theoretically spin, draw, and find a top. Okay. They drew an Ancestral for turn. Seems good. Yeah, okay. I mean, I was definitely not happy with my opponent's line of attack in the beginning of this game, but it definitely has worked out for them. I see the vision with the negation and the will and the pierce, and they know my hand and the wasteland, and they know my top card. Could my opponent have just killed me? Yes, they definitely could have just killed me there. Sometimes you miss it, chat. Sometimes you just miss it. With this pause in the upkeep, it kind of feels like my opponent may have realized they have just missed it. All right. I will play out a Sapphire, and then I will spin, and I will find a top as my third card down. Sorry. Not a top. The other card. Okay. I did not find the other card as my third card down. Can I do anything else? No. Okay. I die. Oh, I guess I'm not technically dead yet, am I? Because my opponent didn't play Lurrus this turn. So, no, I am dead because I won't be able to draw a card. So I am dead. Okay. All right, that game was brutal. The top of our deck was not kind to us. It has not been kind to us for most of this league. Why am I stuck? Okay. Opponent took an interesting anti-mana line of attack here after Gitaxian probing us. I don't believe my opponent would ever make some of those counters if they didn't have Gitaxian probe, which just shows you the power of Gitaxian probe. I definitely like Bobble in this matchup. I also like Trinisphere in this matchup, and I also like Defense Grid in this matchup. The fact that they are playing Bowmasters is annoying. Don't know if they'll have Null Rods or not. Don't know. I don't know how we're supposed to board for this kind of matchup. What should we do? I feel like this Talon thing is bad, but I also need land drops, so I guess I could swap it out for a Blast Zone. I feel like that's better. What do I want to take out? Mightstone Weakstone kills off Bowmasters, but I don't think that should matter. I mean, it matters. It definitely matters. Does it matter enough? Don't know. Let's try something like this for now. Not really sure how you're allowed to trim on this kind of deck. I feel like for the most part, we're not doing a lot of sideboarding unless your opponent is bringing in Null Rods. Like, obviously, Blast Zone and Masticore are for Null Rods. Dismember is for Oofs and Mono White. Mightstone, again, for like Oofs and Mono White. Trinisphere for being on the play versus everyone, I assume. And then I think a lot of these cards are going to be mostly Karn targets, but maybe you bring them in certain matchups. Here we've got a Bobble on the play. All right, let's go. Should draw a Force, one would hope. Might be nice. Definitely the kind of hand that Bobble should look really good in. On the play against a deck that has a bunch of Forces and Moxen, protecting our powerful elements. This looks like a great Bobble spot. Drew the Force. Very nice. Okay. I think we're gonna keep playing Magic cards here. Don't want to run into like Spell Pierce and that kind of card. A reasonable question will be, do we vat the mono? Okay, they had double force. Okay. Oh. They have 2 cards left in hand, and we have top key. So I feel like we came out very far ahead there, and Bobble did exactly what it signed up to do. So that one, I would give Bobble full points. Very nice. We're gonna have equal and fair arbitration here. Opponent kept a no land double force hand. Don't mind that either. Ah, nice. Very nice. Let's go double draw here. A new Bobble. You like to see that. All right. Now we're just going off. And we've got an active Saga. Cool. I think we're in a great spot in this game. This is like another reason why I really believe in Null Rod as the answer to this style. I call this like a Jewel style deck, a combo shops style deck. Not bad. On the play, on the draw here, I'm gonna take this Trinisphere back out. Put this Lantern, Opal. Let's put an Opal back in. But now, can we actually win on the draw? That's the real question. I have never been skeptical that these style decks could win on the play, and Bobble just helps you win on the play. But can you actually win on the draw versus a real blue deck? That'll be the question. Oh, this hand is 2 workshops and payoffs, so we're definitely going in on it. Mox, Delta, go. I think I like Workshop, Monolith, Flesh Raker, Mox, and Monolith Ring or something like that. And if our Flesh Raker gets forced, I think that's good because we want this ring to resolve more than anything else. All right, so I get an Emerald here, gets me a spawner. Oh, I'm getting Fatal Pushed. Huh. Interesting. Okay. So now I only have 3 mana, so we'll just use our mana to... Oh, I know, I still have 4 mana here. Now it's a question of, do I play around Mindbreak Trap, or do I do I play around Spell Pierce? I'm gonna jam a ring here. Ring resolves. Very nice. Let's draw with our ring. Key. All right. I mean, I've got a Vat, Key, some Monoliths. Looks good. Unless we get null rotted, in which case we lose on the spot. This is what I'm saying, though. Like, null rod is the way to beat these decks. It's null rod. Needle would be pretty good here, too. So now the question is, do we care about getting Bowmastered? Don't think so. We're just straight up drawing cards here, no matter what. Nope. Not Bowmastered. Let's go Key. We're not getting Bowmastered. I feel like I like Key Academy. Oh, they have a mental misstep. Spell Pierce. A null. Okay. Maybe I should have played the Academy to play around Spell Pierce, actually, is something that I'm thinking here. I don't want a new ring. Kind of unfortunate I can't Vat this turn, though, because I played the Man of Key. What's like the upside of a Sensei Spin? Another Key. Or I guess a Bobble, but a Bobble doesn't matter at this point. I'd rather just deploy a Smelting Vat. Well, I think Smelting Vat has always been a playable vintage deck. It's definitely a deck that can win a tournament. All right. Still basically on the same problem here where Null Rod just beats me outright. Maybe not outright anymore considering I have an Academy, but still pretty close to outright. Demonic Tutor. Needle on Ring, maybe? I mean, that's got to be the best play, right? Needle on Ring. They went for... Yeah, Needle on Ring. Okay, I like that. I trust OKMV to make strong plays. So... Oh, they named that. I see the reasoning. Is it better? Yeah. Yeah, it might be. It might be. It might be better. Mystic Forge, Vexing Bauble. I mean, all of these things should get me there, right? So let's do, I guess we should play, I mean, they have, oh, whatever, who cares? I'm over it. Let's just cast spells here. Yeah, no, I kind of like the needle on bat. I'm surprised. It wasn't my first thought, but this sees a lot deeper than a ring does, and we have active things to sack. Oh, I like that. That's going to be a good one. Oh, I have no colorless mana until I play this Grim Monolith, though. It's kind of funny. So, yeah. This is infinite with our Sensei's top here. They are dead. All right. Lurrus Saga vanquished. Bobble first for snuff out. Yeah, I mean we could have done that. You're right, of course. Yeah, we could have sequenced better for sure. All right, on to the next one. Round 4. No bobble. I think it's fine. I think no Red and Doomsday is good. I feel like Doomsday is a deck that needs it the least because it's the most powerful comboing and controlling deck. It like already beats Jewel anyways, but I don't really mind the first Null Rod. Is this a keep? I mean, it has to be, right? I just go workshop, Emerald, play turn 1 ring. Like that's gotta be a keep. It's tough though. Fleshraker has looked pretty good. Got a force pitching a daze. Pitching a daze. A daze. We're just one Sensei's top from winning this game. Ah, Black Lotus. Where's our bobble? Oof, there it is. Yep. Uh-huh. Swamp. Assassin's Trophy? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. I believe I have been bested in the arena of ideas here. I do believe my bug opponent had a Black Lotus to start the game. How intriguing. Hmm. All right. Well, if I don't get wastelanded and I draw another land that makes mana, I have the Fleshraker backup plan. So that's something. Demonic Tutor. I'm gonna get wastelanded. Yep. Okay. Uh-huh. Yup. Aha. Oh, wait. I can phase the oof out. And then play... Oh, wait. This is actually sick here. Wait, isn't this sick? Isn't this great? Isn't this awesome? Wait. This looks real good. Hold up. Wait a minute. I was ready for it. Monolith. Glaring Fleshraker. Not bad. Not bad. It's something. The bleeding has been slowed. And now we can start playing things that make... And we have... Okay. Hello. We're cooking. How much does this thing costs? 4? So I could have gone Sensei's top and thing in this turn, but I think saving Eldrazi spawns seems better. Especially because I want to play another Fleshraker first. Okay, wait. I mean, I think we're okay. Are we not okay? Oh, it's not rebuy? I read this card wrong. Oh, I did read that card wrong. Okay. Well, shit. Reading the card explains the card. All right, but this game is not over anymore. This Inventor's Fair can search us up a Mightstone Weakstone. We are gaining life. Our opponent is losing life. We've got this Vexing Bauble. All right, sack this. Give me another Fleshraker. And then... Okay, well, that's a little unfortunate. I could have sequenced around this. I could have sequenced around this. I could have played a Bauble first and then done that. I got overconfident in my position here. That one is on me. You can blame me. That's the second time I've done that. Bauble only stops our Moxen, and we still will cast them, get them countered, and make things off of them, and then they were off anyways. So I actually think Bauble doesn't matter for us here at all. I just kind of thought my Bauble didn't matter for my opponent because it's turn like 6, and they had already let everything resolve, and they'd already used all their forces and stuff. But yeah, no. I mean, now we're dead. Like, our opponent has a... Wait, why didn't they turn off my Fleshraker? Hello? I don't understand. No, we are not beating Oko. So I don't actually think it ended up mattering. I think we would have lost this game anyways. Because our deck is not simply not beating the Oko here. But yeah. Oh, they're exchanging control. And then they're all right. They're cooked. They're styling on me, chat. They're fucking styling on me. What is this? Okay. We are getting styled on. Oh, that's pretty funny. I knew something was up when my opponent didn't elk my guy right away. Okay. Yup. I rate this as bad for our chances of winning the game. Okay, I'm gonna concede. I guess if we had killed their Collector Roof or something, they would have been just reanimated it. Damn, okay. Yeah, I mean, Bug is definitely the worst possible thing I can possibly think of for this deck. So that's not great. We are going to have to change up our game plan drastically. Let's bring in a Mightstone Weakstone. Let's bring in 3 Masticore. Let's bring in the Trinisphere on the play. And let's bring in the Double Dismember. And let's bring in the Blast Zone. I'm going to take out all of these Smelting Vats. I'm going to take out the Karn. I'm going to take out... I probably want the other Needle in as well. I'm going to take out like some number of everything here. Something like this. Is Bauble good? Bauble is not great, but it's still fine. It's going to protect us from Vigor, right? At least alt cast Vigor. So we'll probably want Bauble in on the play. On the draw, we can reevaluate if we make it to the draw. Yeah. So far, we've won some games and we've lost some games due to this Bauble. I think I've been more impressed with Fleshraker than I have with Bauble so far. But it's hard to evaluate. All right, on the play. Ah, that's a classic right there. Let's go. You love to see that. Show them what shops are made of here. Workshop 3 ball. Now that's a real workshop card, not this Vexing Bauble stuff. Though I guess this Vexing Bauble does like protect our 3 ball, so it's kind of nuts. What are we talking about? This probably is game winning. All right, Vexing Bauble, you did the job here. With the help of Mox and Workshop, we're going to resolve our Trinisphere. Not bad. Not bad at all. This is definitely the exact kind of start we're looking for, where we have the spare mana, Bauble +1, and we go from there. Can't play our Fleshraker, and I don't think this Masticore is worth playing right now. Let's start with a Mystic Forge. All right, they're off it. You love to see it. All right, that was a beautiful game for the Bauble. The Bauble gets maximum credit there. Now, do we change how we're boarding? Are Baubles still worth it here? I feel like the answer is yes. These blue classical Force of Will decks, I mean, not as good as versus Lurrus, but still fine. 1 land, Bauble Volt Key. I mean, there's a lot that can go wrong with this hand, I must admit. But it's very close to winning. Moxen would help here. Ancient Tomb is not bad, though. Ancient Tomb is not bad, though. Turn 1 win, easy peasy, says kinda. Well, only if you're playing paper, as there is not currently a turn 1 win in our hand. I think I like Workshop, Vexing Bauble, and then Time Vault. Seems like I'm going to get oofed here, but the good news is if I sequence this way, if my opponent oofs me, then I can just go Ancient Tomb, Uncounterable Mightstone, so not bad. Oh, Strip Mine. Never mind. My bad. I was wrong. I shouldn't have said that. Now they're going to oof me and strip mine my Workshop, and I'm going to lose the game. My bad. Oh. Pick your poison. Okay. Bobble down. Black Lotus. Okay, fair enough. My bad. Chose poorly. Okay, I will ask you a question. I will pose a question. Can you beat it? Can you beat it? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they can. Yep. Well, I rate that as bad for our chances of success in this game. Land. Okay. All right. Land. Not bad. Unfortunately, I'm not phasing out an oof, but I need to get some Eldrazi drones in here. Oh, yeah. The game is not over. It is bad for us, but it's not over. Blue. Green. Oko. Okay. Now the game is over. My bad. My bad. We don't have it anymore. Fortunately, we can't even keep our Talon Gates. Talon Gates has looked good though. I will say, I think the Talon Gates has been pretty nice. There aren't that many decks that want it in Vintage, but I haven't hated that. I should just turn this Deathray Shaman into a thingy, right? No? Okay. I guess I just chump block and then do it. But what if I drew a land here and had a Mightstone Weakstone? Alright, I think I'm going to play a Bauble and cycle the Bauble. Oh. I get a thing. It's kind of nice, actually. I wish this thing could ping Planeswalkers, huh? Workshop? Workshops? Any workshops? Bauble. Okay. I think I would rather keep the extra mana than cycle here. This card is sick. This card has been sweet. Are they gonna make me drain two here? Next turn, hopefully I can play Mightstone Weakstone, sack, killing their Elk and killing their Oko. I might win this game. I might win this game. No, I need 5 mana, not me. So I can play Mightstone Weakstone and kill Oko. I don't think I'm allowed to cycle there. Like, killing Oko is the most important thing here. Would have drawn a Bauble that would not, which would have been castable after sacking. So I guess... Am I protected from anything by having this Bauble in play? Snuff out? I could get Spell Pierced. Do I net enough mana if I cycle to play around Spell Pierce? I might. If I hit a mana off of it. A land. Oh, this turns on Fatal Push though. But it looks like it worked out. Ooh, am I allowed to play this Mana Crypt? That's certainly a question. Why not? Can use not my Ancient Tomb here then. Oh, Revolt is only your things? Okay, my bad. Yeah, Fleshraker looks good. All right, I'm gonna give this -5, -5. Can I get away with attacking face at all here? I feel like I can. Also, they'd have to kill this instead of the... Yeah. I can play another Mightstone Weakstone or a Ring. Guess we'll play... Feel like we'd rather play a Ring. I am like pretty low on health, though. Is Eldrazi aggro viable in Vintage? I wouldn't say so, but... It's not... I think you could like try to make it close enough. That's not great. I'm not really interested in playing these. I'd like to hold this for like a creature. Oh, these are free because we played a ring. My bad. Yeah, I did forget about that. So yeah, I should I still don't know if I'm supposed to play it. Like, having a creature removal spell feels like it's better, but you are right. I didn't consider playing it, and I probably should have considered playing it. I'm really worried with our active ring and our mana crypts. I'd like to clock this game out as fast as possible. That's another reason why I think it was good to use this one to attack face, because I want to get 2 attacks in to win here. I don't want this game to go any longer than it has to. I'm at 6. This is like a lethal top though, right? Like almost 100% this is a lethal top. I mean, this has got to be a lethal top. I have enough mana, right? Yeah. Oh, wait, I don't have 2 tops, so it doesn't actually do that. If I activate this ring, I can't die, so. I mean, I mean, it's still probably a lethal top, right? Oh, no. Oh, no, Justin. Oh, no, Justin. Oh, they're not going face. They're not going face. Uh, uh, mm. It's bad. It's definitely bad. We found a new ring. And another flesh raker. So we kill their bowmaster. And then what? Drawn to a new ring. This draws me a top. Which draws me a new flesh raker. Oh, is that actually good here, though? Now I have to just jump with it. I played badly. I played terribly. Oh no, I have protection. Okay, so it's fine. Okay, I get to use my full mana here. Okay, so yeah, I have protection, so I don't have to jump. And then we just win on the next turn of the game. My lord. I feel like I played this turn really poorly. If I had to go back, what would I do? Oh, they're just gonna turn off another flesh raker? Or this is still kind of bad though, right? Oh, they stood up. See, I feel like that is a losing line because I just need to play 6 spells. I feel like I draw, play a ring, draw. And then I just need to spin for the last spell. Fleshraker has looked great. I just need a spell in my top 3. Cool. Oh, I don't like how I played that. I would like to play that game again. But my lord, does Fleshraker looks like the truth, doesn't it? Super strong. Also, kind of a good series for the Talon Gates of Madara here. All right, 5th and final round here. Lost the die roll. We've got a bunch of fast mana. Not the greatest hand, but probably still a keep, I would assume. I assume this is a keep. We could maybe mulligan this in hopes of something better, but it feels challenging to do that. Looks like we have a Moxen deck with a Fetch's Oath then. Shit. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Ancient Tomb is a good draw. I can lead Saga this way. Ancient Tomb was probably the best draw in my deck, so can't hate that. Am I getting vigored anyways? What's going on here? Classic bug start with a Moxen and a Collect Roof. But they don't have a Wasteland for my Saga, so that means I'm getting a Construct token. It's a big deal. Might just win the game off that. Definitely Ancient Tomb is the best draw here. I guess Tolarian Academy also would have worked. So we had 5 good draws in our deck. We're in a driver's seat now. This is going to be very large constructs. They could have Wasteland, Demonic Wasteland, Psychic Frog. All right. Deals damage to players or planeswalkers draw a card. Discarding cards gives you 1/1 counters, and exiling cards from your graveyard give you flying. That's a banger. Okay. Psychic Frog it is. Did not see that coming. We could fare for Mightstone, Weakstone if we somehow found 4 mana. Yes. Or we could draw Mightstone, Weakstone. Now we just have to have 5 mana. But we do have 2 constructs, so I like the spot we're in here. Do we want a Vexing Bauble? Question mark. Do we want a Needle on Psychic Frog so they can't fly over us? Do we want a Needle on Oko? Do we want... What is the highest percentage card to play around? Well, Psychic Frog is the one that's in play. We could also get a Needle and name Wasteland. They don't have a Wasteland currently, though. Could Needle Verdant. True. Feel like I won't do that, though. The only thing that's like super guaranteed is the frog. All the other cards I mentioned are reasonable, but I think I like needling the frog the most. I wouldn't hate a couple of the other lines if someone made them against me, but let's go with Psychic Frog has been needled. I have an Inventor's Fair. I guess I shouldn't have played pre-combat because I don't have any spells to cast off it. Get in there. Not bad. This card is sweet. I did just win a thing. Let's show chat real quick. This was from top 8ing TSI. I haven't done anything with it. We got some teeth. The predecessor to the Psychic Frog. I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet, but I do have it. Main scene game screen capture. There we go. What happened? Psychic Frog ate the meat grinder, or should I say the steel grinder here? Well, no, I guess it would still be the meat grinder. Yeah, okay. Never mind. What is happening here? Hardcast Vigor, kill both my constructs. Bauble doesn't protect us from that. Ah, 4 mana Cruise. Cruise your daddy. Okay. All right, I have 12 power plus up to 1, maybe 2 more. Oh, wow, that's pretty good, right? Because that's an additional 4 power. Ah, not lethal though. One short. So we're still looking a little dead to Vigor. Wasteland, pretty bad. But they have to deal with the constructs first. Blue, green, Oko. That buys some time. But if they chump with these 2 creatures, we are unlocked. Green, Deathrite Shaman. A Workshop or an Ancient Tomb would give us a Mightstone Weakstone, which looks pretty good on this board. Damn. All right, they're off it. Should they be off it? They jump with this and this. They still give themselves a draw for a Vigor. If they don't have a Vigor in their main, I guess they can be off it. I don't know. Don't know the contents of their deck. Okay, got a game 1 win against Bug after they played turn 1 Collector Roof. The power of an unchecked Tomb plus Saga combination. This is the spot where we change our entire deck. We're going to bring in Blast Zones and Dismembers and Masticores and Mightstone Weakstones, taking out Vats and Keys. And, man, I just don't think Bauble is it here, but what is it protecting us from? Forces? Forces? Probably fine. Let's run like this. Maybe I'm supposed to bring in Crucible, actually. Yeah. Not a bad hand here. Any Okay. All right. Bug player for sure. Crack, collect roof. I'm ready. Whoa! We got a Bobble in the bug deck. That I cannot recommend. That is definitely hurting you more than it is hurting me. But I mean I accept. I accept. That's crazy. That's wild. Okay, so I'm gonna go with Monolith and Bobble. And we'll look towards next turn here. Even if they crack their Bobble now, we got our own Bobble. So one of us is wrong. One of us has to be wrong here. I mean, workshop. All right, Wasteland. This thing has Pro Oko, so with a Bobble in play, this is resolving next turn. Feel pretty good about the state of being. I want to hold this Bobble in my hand for killing Deathrite Shamans. But I'm pretty happy with the idea of an Argentum Masticore here. This is a card that has really grown on me. Oh, fuck off. What is happening? Excuse my language. Sorry. What just happened to me? I got Strix Serenaded. Counter target artifact, creature, or planeswalker. I get a bird. Well, we got a bird, so we got that going for us, which is nice. Okay. All right. I thought I got ahead of myself. I got a little ahead of myself. I thought I was resolving a Dargenta Masticore. I was not. What is this? This bird is sweet. Look at this. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Ooh. I like that bird. No, different card. Not a swan. Not a swan. I got Wastelanded again. That is notably not great for me until I drew the Soul Ring, and now it's notably very good for me. I think I can pull it off. Ooh, my head does not turn that way. I lied. Okay. Well, this Urza Saga was gonna look a little dicey if I had not drawn the Soul Ring, but I think I did it. I could draw another Bobble, right? So it's probably better just crack this now. I guess if my opponent plays a Bowmaster, it looks silly. Oh, look at that. Boom. Nice play. They're gonna eat my Masticore for 2 life. Fair. I would eat it too. Oh, they're just gonna sack the Bobble? Draw a card? I like that too. my opponent just played 2 mana, draw a card. Yes. Vexing Bobble, huh? Oh, well, that's 1 mana, draw 3 cards, so that's a little bit better. I guess that's what I get for I guess that's what I get. I don't think Consigned to Memory is better than playing a Sabotage or an Annul. But it's worth considering, of course. It's just another tool in the toolbox. Oof, there it is. Oof, there it is bad for us here. Oh, Loam. Oh, that's also bad for us here. Loam is also bad for us here. All right, well, we get 1 Saga token. And I have a bird still, so... All right, I think what I do is I make a Grim Monolith, and then... If I spin and I find a Saga, then I get 2 Saga tokens, right? Is that worth exposing my Saga token to Oko? I guess I'm always exposing my Saga token to Oko because they have Wasteland, right? So I guess I think it's always correct to spin. Oh, Dismember. Forge. Flesh Raker. I'll have 2 mana next turn. Or I could draw into the Flesh Raker now, but I lose the construct. It's probably too bad to do that. All right. I could activate Bauble and then play Dismember. Not really. Couldn't do that either. Okay. If I get oofed, I will not be able to play spells for the rest of the game, but I have a bird and a construct. NYSC has like a free draft if you drop in the first 2 rounds or something. After the first 3 rounds or something. Check Nick Detweiler's, not Nick Detweiler. Check the Twitter. Yeah, check Nick's Twitter, I think. I would check Nick's Twitter. So what happened? My opponent played a new bobble. It should be here. I can find it. I feel like I went past it. Why do I feel like I went past it? I'm useless. I'm streaming. Why are we doing this right now? Oh, I found it here. Okay, so where was I? I don't know if I'm supposed to dismember this Deathrite Shaman in case my opponent plays a Collector Oof. Right? That feels like something that's worth worrying about. Oh. Okay. If I dismember now, though, I feel like it's good. They're at 8 life. They need to find a blocker. There's a second dismember on the top of my library. 8 of mana. Also, if you have any more NYSE questions, that would be the person to ask. So. Uh-oh. Demonic Tutor. What is the worst card they can get here for me? I guess if they... I mean, I have my own bauble, so they can't even crack their bauble. Force of Vigor is turned off by double bauble at the moment. Maybe just Fatal Push on my construct. Okay, Fatal Push on my construct. Fair. Yeah, the bird has gone to town. This is true. Is there... This time, I think I'm supposed to hold up Dismember in case my opponent plays Collector Roof. 3 more bird hits are necessary. Yeah, I didn't have high hopes for the fake Swan Song card. Another Deathrite Shaman. I mean, I think you can add him, right? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not a master Twitterer. I'm just there because I have to be. Saga Gaming versus Wasteland Lock. Not ideal. I'm gonna dismember this thing. Oh, we're drawing. They've done a lot of 2-mana draw card. A lot of thinking twice. I kind of want them to keep missing a land drop here, so... I'm never stopping Loam Lock, right? So I might as well. The one play I still have left in my book here is I can sack this Bauble, play on Emerald, and play a Flesh Raker. Not particularly an enticing play. That's bad. Do we want to search? What cards are good? Tolarian, I guess. I want to end a turn crack this Bauble, but I can't. I think we just shuffle. Because I don't have to crack this Bauble if the cards are not good, right? Mana Vault. Monolith. Jet. All right, it's time. We free ourselves and open ourselves up to the beautiful world of Force of Vigor. I think we need to draw cards, so... That's 1 mana short of a Masticore. This is 2, this is 3, this is 4. Last zone. The One Ring and Mystic Forge, none of which are now castable on this turn exactly. I boarded out so many keys, huh? I feel like we draw the Blast Zone next turn. Okay. All right, well, they're free of the baubles, so if they have any Moxen they had left over, if they have any forces, they can hardcast Vigor now anyway, so it's not like we were stopping that. I mean, if it's Collector Roof off the top rope, ooh. Ooh, I see. Maybe I was supposed to, well, I mean, we have a Masticore. I could have drawn, I can draw on their turn. Why am I using that? Someone stop me. Jesus. Okay. All right. A Masticore. Pretty good here. I do think we'll draw with our top next turn on their turn because I can draw on their turn. Give me an ability that kills the Leovold. Because our top cards are Forge and whatever. Oh, I guess you're right. It is a 5/5 unblockable at the moment. That is a true statement. True, very true. This card just kind of wild, huh? I guess we wouldn't want to kill Leopold because they don't want him to draw an extra card. Crazy, crazy. All right, a 3/2, not bad. That's about what I expected from this deck. Sweet, not a bad showing. I think Talons actually was pretty sweet. Did some good phasing things. I don't really know if this is like the best deck for Talons, but Talons is like a ton better than playing something like Otawara, right? If especially if you can't cast Otawara. This thing is just you play it and you phase out their roof, or you can even put it in an instant speed to do something like that. Vexing Bobble was hit or miss. There were definitely sequences where our Bobble was fantastic. I'm thinking back about the time where we got this to bait a force and then resolved turn 1 Trinisphere. That was probably like the single best use case for the 4 Bobble deck. Yeah, I think Talons is probably better than Otawara and Jewel. I don't know. It doesn't hit Null Rod, right? That's the problem. It only hits Collector Oof, and Oof is not the hardest card to deal with in Jewel. So, but yeah. So Bobble did lose us some games where we got all of our things turned off, but it also won us some games. Probably won us more games than we lost us in this particular set. It was definitely visible that there are matchups where Bobble is good, and there are matchups where Bobble is bad. And there are matchups where Bobble is good on the play and bad on the draw. So something to keep in mind as you try the card for yourself. When does this card make sense is just as important of if it should be in your deck at all. And then Fleshraker combo was great. We won a bunch of games with Fleshraker plus double top. We won a couple games with just Fleshraker casting spells. We won some games where we got null rotted and we had a Fleshraker anyways. So I think this was a very nice showing for the Eldrazi drone. So shout out to the Team Serious guys who came up with this deck. Also shout out to that random Reddit post whom I told Fleshraker would not see a home. I was wrong. They were definitely right here. Kind of. Not exactly in a Jewel deck, but you could play this in Jewel. I don't think this is actually that good in Jewel, but it's worth keeping an eye on. And I definitely want to try at some point a more aggro slanted version of the deck with Patchwork and Foundry Inspector, very similar to my Patchwork KCI deck. That deck will also play Bobble. So it'd be neat to see if that is like a better plan than Smelting Vat One Ring stuff. Who knows? Maybe not. But it would be a little bit lower to the ground, which I like a lot. Also, like Fleshraker plus Foundry Inspector plus spells could be pretty interesting. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed the very first Modern Horizons video for Modern Horizons 3 in Vintage on this channel. There will be plenty more where that came from. In fact, I'm recording a league directly after this. So stay tuned for that. I will release as many times as I can, but you will always get your Monday, Wednesday, Friday Vintage videos. I will see you then.